Going to be looking today at Once Pharmaceuticals, and the ticker symbol is ONCE, also known as Spark Therapeutics. Is known as a gene therapy drug, and it's produced some really cutting edge results from being able to cure someone who has premature blindness and being able to reduce the cost from technically starting out at 1 million and now being able to reduce it in half to 500,000. Now, technically, it's still too much for a regular, insurance carrier for your health insurance. But in the future, this is a feasible option, and I think as long as they get the cost down, this has got potential. See, we've been tracking here the stock since around October and around the peak of September, and we notice here this is where the big kurtosis imbalance occurs, and that's occurs when we using our scanner right here, the kurtosis scanner. Well, what does it really do? It's really measuring the imbalance in the market, and it's like just like a standard bell curve you take at school for your class for when you're in the grade school, and the teacher would have an average, and the average would be somewhere within the B and C range, and now that's what kurtosis finds, the imbalance when something is skewed to the left or to the right. And that's when you find trading opportunities because there's an imbalance that the market is not able to particularly understand. And as you've seen right here, we were able to catch this sell alert right at the top, at the top of the September into early October, and that's when we saw the big drop. And it was a combination of earnings as well as the fact that there was competition with another pharmaceutical company who was doing something at a lower cost, and so that was really providing a lot of headwinds for the company. Moving forward, what did we do right here? We see eventually we found a support right here on the stock at around $41, and that's where it found a bottom, a true bottom. But where is our support lines, and what is a support line? A support line is the price floor that you don't think that the stock is going to go below because it's a has three or more measures that line up at that point and giving it a consistency, and that it won't usually go below that price, because we see in using price history that at those times when it does drop to those levels, it usually recovers and bounces. So that's why we develop support lines, and using the idea of probabilities and that theory, we should work with the threes. So we're looking for three candlesticks anytime you want to find these pattern for support. Or if you're going to do a resistance, you also want to, vice versa, you want to also look for three levels of candlesticks that all have the same price. And that would give you like a confirmation of the price target that you're choosing, because in the past it's reached this level and broken through, and now it seems as it can become another new price target in the future. And by knowing this and knowing price history and what it really means is that it gives you power in technical analysis. So we see here around 41 and around the 45 area, MTTS, our signature copyright system that we sell here at mttstrading.com, as well as our free watch list and educational videos. You can check those out on our website. But anyway, we got a buy signal in around the end of December, and that was right around the time that the stock bottomed around 45. And since then, we've had a couple sell alerts. We sold, we could sell right here at 56. Got another buy signal at around $50, all the way up until $60, where it was rejected most recently back into the $56, $55 range. Now, okay, backtrack. What is this? This is called a Fibonacci retracement. So let's delete this first. So what does that do? It kind of pretty much gives you a way to retrace the price high to low and the percentage each increment. If the stock does go up, how far is it retracing back from the high? And that's why we can do that. And that really just gives us a sense of how far are we going back to the prior high. And just to give us a sense of how much could this be overvalued, in the sense that we have already seen a drop before, so it might be good to take out, after we see a 50% retracement from the high of 91.75, we might want to take some profits and cut our position in half or even exit the position. So to drop Fibonacci retracement, let's go down to this drop tool, and you're going to see this, it looks like a percentage sign. Go ahead and click that. You're going to click from the top of the high, and that's where we're starting the Fibonacci retracement, because we want to see how much is it going to retrace from the high of 91.75, and we're going to drop it down to the low of 41.06. Now I accidentally messed up on that, and you could just go into, you're just going to go right click if you want to edit if you want to edit the Fibonacci retracement, right click, edit properties, and then you can just hand go in and draw it and write it in, and there we go. So we can see at this point, you could see from the low, we have a low of 41.06. Now the retracement from the high at this current measure is around between the 23.6 to the 38.2 range, meaning that we're retracing from the current high about I would say around 30% right now currently. So that's good to keep in mind when we're looking at the stock. Is this overvalued? Well, we've already seen a 30% retracement, so it's not not bad to look at the tea leaves and think that there could be some instability in the future because of this price instability, as we had saw before, this giant gap. But gaps like to be filled, so we could see more probably into the 60%, 55% range of around $70. Now, how are we going to get this target? Let me show you how. So let's change our drawing tools to the we'll just use a price level since we can draw it straight, and we're going to look for three levels of three candlesticks, 1, 2, 3, to find a support line for this run. Well, we could use the one that they already generated for us, which is a 23.6% retracement, or we can go in and draw our own. Let's go in and draw our own so we can, really make sure we're doing our own thorough analysis and finding points of interest that we feel are, represent the true support line. So I like to look at the prior low. You see here at this candlestick, we got around 54.45, around that. So I can look for three other candlesticks along this line to line it up with, because two other ones, because according to the law of probabilities, pairs work in threes. So we need to find three lines to confirm a support, meaning the price we don't want the stock to go below, a price that we think it's going to get bounced on. So doing that, let's draw our line right around the prior low at 54.25. I think 54.25 is a good price target to keep in mind on the downside for a short. If the stock does drop, this is where we want to look to see where is it going to go from here. If it's going to continue downtrend, we can draw another support line just to show that, and we'll use purple just to signify the support. Okay, let's look for the next support line. This is the next price. If this price fails, we're going to look to see where it would go next. And remember, we're looking for three candlesticks to line up. So we got 1, 2, 3. So you want to find where these all line up, or we can use a different line. It's all subjective, but we're using objective strategies, and in order to properly chart these positions. Now let's see, let's find three lines. Three candlesticks is what you want to, it's a rough science. Just kind of visualize it out, All right, let's say I see right around the 47 range, there's a strong support line right around there. So let's draw our line, extend to the left, edit properties, we'll choose it as purple because that is how we want to distinguish between our support and a resistance. And remember, you can also make sure you could put the price level on the right so we know the price level, so we're not guessing what is the price. Alright, so we got two levels of support, and if we really want to use a third level of support, we can find one right around this range. Look for the prior low. These all bounce around 44.50. Okay, yeah, alright, so, we could always put the left extension on there. Okay, we got three levels of support. Now let's find our resistance. Okay, so first price target we can use is the level right around, let's see where all these candlesticks line up. I would say right around 59.50 is where I want to look for. I like, you could use tighter exits, but I like to stay with even numbers just as a psychological trader. I know just that people like to follow these prices, but when you're picking your target, you want to maybe, put your stop a little bit below that target, because sometimes it won't often hit that because people like to take profits beforehand. So just keep that in mind. And we got 59.5. That's our first price target for the stock. The next price target we're going to have is going to be right around this half bar. Let's see if we can scoot out and we can find better confirmation using a stronger setup. See here now, we can find where all these lines line up perfectly. We can get 3 spots that are pretty much what we need. I'll say 61.75 is the next price target after that. And we're going to delineate that color as yellow. Alright, so we got 2 lines of resistance, or this is our price, where we expect it to go in the future, if you're going long the position. Now let's create one more short-term third line to represent, and I'll go over, so you can see how I drew these lines just to confirm and just to recap. Alright, so let's look for right around, I want to say around 60. 66. All right, 66. I think 66 represents a key level that if we break this, we're off to the races, and you could see this stock really, take a run. And that's really what we're looking for when we go long. We want to get a 2-to-1 ratio of reward. So if we're going to risk, let's say our stop is 54.25, and from the current price of the stock, it's about a $2 move. That means we want our stock to move 4, because we're risking $2 to drop in order to profit for $4. So 56.3 plus 4 is going to give us 60.43, 60.4 or 60.3 actually, right around the area of the Fibonacci retracement line at the 32% range. So keep that in mind. See how the Fibonacci lines are mathematical. There is a rationality to some of these decisions. That's how they're able to create these analysis in order to chart the stock properly and see that it lines up with our lines somewhat. So that's good to get your own lines to confirm with what the Fibonacci is showing you, and that helps you find a specific price target with confirmation and a double check. And using the MTTS system, we could already see right now it has a sell alert. So I will wait till around the 54.25 to retest the low before I go into a long position. And we're just looking at it at the 1-year daily time frame. So from a day-to-day perspective, it could fluctuate, but we're looking at this from a strictly 1-year daily time frame as a long-term hold or to a short-term swing position that would be available in the upcoming next week. And I think it provides a lot of opportunity, and I think you should take a look at it. And have a good night. Thank you.